All right. Today we are diving into a skill that is seriously the difference between your best ideas getting a standing ovation or just crickets. We're talking about taste in communication. And yeah, it's all about making your point actually land every single time. You know that feeling, right? You're in a meeting, you're giving a presentation, you've got something important to share, but you can just see it. Your words are just bouncing off people. You're talking, but are they listening? That's where taste comes in. It's the secret sauce that makes sure your message doesn't just get heard, it gets felt. So here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll talk about what taste isn't. Then we'll get into a super simple formula: promise, proof, and payoff. We'll figure out how to pick the right kind of evidence, see it in action, talk about why this is so crucial for your career, and finally, learn how to recognize that awesome sound of an idea that really lands. Okay, first things first. Let's get one thing straight right off the bat. When we talk about taste, we are not talking about being fancy or using big words. It has nothing to do with being elite. It's all about being effective. So what is it then? Well, here's the definition we're working with. Think of taste as a finely tuned filter. In a world that is just drowning in information and noise, taste is knowing exactly what to pull out. It's that gut feeling for which detail to include, which story to tell, and which words to use so that your point actually connects with another human being. And this is a really important distinction to make. Taste is not snobbery. It's not about memorizing a thesaurus to sound smart. And it's definitely not about perfectionism. You see, perfectionism is all about being flawless, but taste just aims for the right fit. It's a service to your listener. At the end of the day, it's just empathy combined with some really good judgment. Okay, so how do you actually do this? How do you build this skill? Well, we can start with a really simple but incredibly powerful framework. It's called promise, proof, and payoff. Just think of this as the basic skeleton for any point you want to make memorable. So it breaks down like this. First up, the promise. This is your one breath elevator pitch. What does the listener get for paying attention to you? Next, the proof. This is the single piece of evidence that makes them believe you. And finally, the payoff. What's in it for them? What is the real benefit? When you get these three things in balance, man, your communication just gets so much sharper. Now let's talk about that middle part, the proof. This is where honestly most people trip up. They either show up with zero evidence or they try to drop an entire encyclopedia on your head. The real skill, the taste, is in resisting that urge and just picking from one single powerful proof pocket. And you've got a few different pockets to choose from. You've got the number pocket, a hard statistic, something you can check. Then there's the voice pocket, a short, punchy quote from someone credible. And my personal favorite, the vivid example pocket. This is where you paint a picture so clear that even the most tired, distracted person in the room can see it perfectly in their mind's eye. And this right here, this quote gets the absolute heart of it. You have to fight that temptation to just pile on all your facts. A single, perfectly chosen piece of proof is so much stronger, so much more memorable than a whole buffet of kinda okay evidence. It is all about skillful selection, not just throwing everything at the wall. Okay, theory is great, but let's see what this actually looks like when you put it into practice. Here are a couple of before and afters that really show the power of applying a little taste. So let's take Angela's 60-second pitch. The before version is fine. It's got some general points about mentorship. It's polite. It's also completely forgettable. But look at the after. She leads with a sharp promise. First years will stop ghosting your chats. Boom. Her proof, a great little story about 3 shy mentees who are now leaders. And the payoff, a clear benefit for her audience, a visible bench of helpers. Same idea, totally different impact. That's taste. And it works for something as small as a headline. Energy conservation at NCCU, a student study. I mean, who's clicking on that? It's so academic and dry. But your laptop is eating your sleep? Now that makes a direct promise to me, the listener. It gives me a reason to care, right there in 5 words. See, it's not about being clever. It's about making a promise. And I want to be really clear. This is not just some neat trick for a class presentation. Developing this sense of taste is genuinely one of the most valuable things you can do for your entire career. Just think about it for a second. If you're in marketing, it's about picking that one tagline that just has that spark. If you're pitching a project, it's about leading with the one benefit your boss actually cares about. In a job interview, it's the ability to see that your example isn't landing and smoothly swap to a better one. These little tasteful choices are what win in the real world. So as we start to wrap this up, what's the goal here? What does it actually feel like when you nail this? And how do you make your work, your ideas truly memorable? Let's make it super practical. Here are 5 simple rules you can just stick in your back pocket. 1, lead with the change, not the definition. 2, one proof pocket is a feast. 3, try replacing a vague adjective with a hard number. 4, name the listener before you name their payoff. And 5, this one will save you. When in doubt, cut. And trust me, you will know when you're getting it right. It's not a secret. You can literally feel the energy in the room shift. You'll see people lean in. You'll see heads tilt. And the biggest tell, people stop trying to summarize what you said and they start writing down your exact words. That's when you know you've landed. Because ultimately, that's what we're all aiming for, right? It's not about being the loudest person in the room or the one with the fanciest slides. It's about making smart, empathetic choices so your ideas actually connect. It's that quiet, deeply satisfying sound of work that lands.